I'm the Irish guy, and right. First of all, was I wrong about Graham Potter? I mean, is me continuing to just slander this man and continue to call him a hipster warlord, just some flash in the pan, another ex-Swansea coach who we're all going to be laughing at for having the tactical knowledge of that neighbour weirdo who plays tennis with his cat and eats sausage rolls in the dark? I mean, me continue to keep up this agenda. Be honest with me here. Is it making me look like I've got the ball knowledge of an egg sandwich? I mean, 2 of Brighton's last 4 matches have been against this club, and you know what the score is? Manchester United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 6. I'm sorry, what? If you told Sir Alex Ferguson this back in 2013, that soon the standards of Man United would have fallen so hard that the club would now be entertaining these sort of sickly results against a seaside village. I mean, try telling that in 2013 and he would react to that as if you just told him to go and sleep with Dwight York. No chance in hell. I mean, Brighton would have just been a place where Fergie brought his kids on holiday to grab some ice cream in July. I mean, if you're a manager coaching in the Premier League, the best way to catch the attention of Man United in applying for a job is to beat them, and beat them regularly. I mean, honestly, back in 2012, the David Moyes first helped to destroy Man United's title bid by picking up an annoying 4-4 draw with Everton at Old Trafford. And then, a few months later, on the opening day of the season, Marouane Fellaini is scoring in a 1-0 win for Everton. 9 months later, and Moyes, despite being about as exciting as cardboard macaroni, despite possessing the charisma of an omelette, he was then Manchester United boss. I mean, if Fergie had chosen to walk in the summer of 2006 after Chelsea's second title win, then I have no doubt in my mind that his successor would have been Mark Hughes. I mean, he just helped Blackburn beat them twice. Again, putting 6 past them in 2 games. But honestly, Pascal Gross has now scored against Manchester United 6 times. I mean, he barely scores against anyone else. But suddenly, once he sees David De Gea between the posts, for some reason, he looks at him the same way Jonah Hill eyes up a wedding cake. Anyway, Manchester United are responding by trying to buy Adrien, Rabiot and Marko Arnautovic. This club are officially losing their minds. I mean, where do I start? Alright, let's start with Marko first. All summer long, people have told Manchester United they need to sign a striker, because clearly Cristiano Ronaldo looks like he'd sooner bite off his own mum's head than play 1 second in the Europa League. And I mean, what's the alternative? Anthony Martial? I mean, another revelation in pre-season apparently, but he scored 10 goals in his last 65 competitive games. I mean, ask Sevilla fans what modern day Martial is like, and they'll probably instantly dry heave on the couch. I mean, this guy was bought with a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract, right? Well, he turns 27 years old this December. I mean, forget the Ballon d'Or. If he even wins a Player of the Month, I'll tattoo his face on my back.
Oh, there goes Irish guy again with his stupid forfeits. Oh, does he ever learn?
Lads, I think I'm safe. Martial has won the Player of the Month award in the past, yes, but next month will be 7 years till the day. So, do I look nervous? It's been 7 long years, but Manchester United have had a bid rejected for Marko Arnautovic. That's where the club is at now. You're about to replace Ronaldo with former Stoke strikers. I mean, who's next, Hozzaloo? We live in a world where Manchester United are agreeing to have a former Stoke City striker being given finishing lessons on a daily basis by Benny McCarthy, a former number 9 for Blackburn, and the former manager of Amazulu FC. I mean, 2 men who probably just spend the 20-minute training session just munching hamburgers behind a bush and prank calling Karen Brady. I mean, walk into the Man United canteen and you will see Steve McLaren and Tom Huddlestone sharing a pie. I mean, what sort of parallel universe is this? This is Manchester United. What is going on? I mean, what next? I suppose they'll have Pascal Chimbonda mowing the lawn and Kevin Nolan putting pints in the local across the road with Charles and Zogbia scrubbing the toilets on the bus. It's a mess. A complete and utter mess. I mean, Gary Neville was asked live on television after the Brighton loss whether Arnautovic was a good signing for the club. His response?
No comment!
I'm sorry, Gary. Why are you responding as if the police had just turned up on your doorstep with CCTV footage of you kissing a cat outside a dumpster? No, just answer the question, Gary. Christ, I'm sure when the club signed Onion Gallo, you were publicly telling the world that this man was a human lollipop with the first touch of half-eaten Treddies. But now the cat's got your tongue? Wait, actually, I might be wrong on that.
I've been trying to find the words to describe what I think about the Gallo signing. I can't. Sky Sports PL will be hoping I've mustered something together by 5:30. See you then. P.S. I'm hoping the lad does brilliantly, by the way.
Okay then. Well then I guess that these sort of panic signings, they actually do take away Gary's voice box. Honestly, when Manchester United do these sort of transfers, they manage to successfully render a pundit whose job it is to talk. They just render him as an unhelpful cabbage who might as well have milk clogging up his lungs. But listen, I get it, okay? Because Man United have never been a stranger to thinking outside the box when signing a short-term centre-forward fix. It's just back in Gary's day, that answer was a football legend like Henrik Larsson on a 6-month deal. These days, it's former Watford and Stoke centre forwards, just hiring guys after their Chinese holidays. Listen, it's weird. Gary Neville and Arnautovic, they do have previous. Neville was covering the MNF match back in 2017, where West Ham lost 3-0 at home to Brighton, and Arnautovic's attitude all match was pathetic.
You were right about Arnautovic. You weren't too tough on him at all, Neville told Carragher on Sky Sports. I think you mentioned the word application. I've only ever played with one player who had an excuse not to track back, and that was Cristiano Ronaldo because he scored 40 goals a season. He's Ronaldo in his own mind, that guy. That's his problem. He thinks he's better than he is.
Oh no. You cannot make this up. Oh, Gary, it's 5 years later, and Manchester United are now the ones losing home to Brighton, not West Ham, and to add insult to injury, they're sniffing around Neville's enemy at 33 years of age. I mean, in 2017, Neville was accusing Arnautovic of thinking that he was Ronaldo. Can you imagine if he now replaces Ronaldo and gets the number 7 shirt at Old Trafford? That will be the longest ever troll of Gary Neville. I mean, Arnautovic did have a response for Gary back in 2017 too.
I respect what Gary Neville achieved as a player. He was brilliant at Manchester United, and hats off to him. The Austrian told broadcaster Leo 1, but what he did as a coach at Valencia, his job is to criticise. That is 90% of the job. I am not saying Gary Neville is a nobody. He has accomplished a lot in his life. He is a legend. But as a coach, let him stay on the TV.
Neville and Arnautovic, they don't like each other. And yet, surely, in my head, I thought there'd be more chance of Arnie, at his age, agreeing to just go and play under Gary's brother in the MLS. More chance of that than actually getting a move to Man United. I mean, this is a guy who tried to buy Arnautovic before, in 2018, and they were quoted £50 million. And a year later, he immediately showed the ambition of cat poo by moving to China in search for trophies. This is a man who said he wanted a challenge for titles in Asia, which is a bit like a fat old man telling his wife that he got those Playboy magazines for the articles. Yes, Mark Goldbridge, I'm looking at you. Arnautovic allowed Shanghai Port to spend £20 million on a transfer fee and then give him what, £300,000 a week? And how does he repay them?
I underestimated it. I didn't train, I didn't look after my body. I was eating. I was drinking fizzy drinks, Sprite, Coca-Cola, Fanta, all these sugar drinks that are not good for the body.
Fizzy drinks. I know not to drink fizzy drinks. I mean, there's so much sugar in there, you might as well be drinking cake through a straw. I mean, I know this, and I'm just some Irish lad with pumpkin for brains. I mean, he's a professional athlete.
Eating at wrong times, not sleeping, because when I came to China, it took me about 3 weeks until I could adapt to the time. I went to bed at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I woke up 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, went to training, stayed up all night, eating at wrong times.
I respect the honesty, but that man was supposed to be a Chinese Super League Superman, and he just blatantly admitted to playing PlayStation all night and munching on Pringles and donuts. Basically, living the life of an unemployed teenager. I mean, come on. I mean, all I was missing was getting off with 16-year-olds in a car park at night. Marko Arnautovic, when he could be bothered, he was a very good footballer, yes, but I'm sorry. The man had talent to have a much higher ceiling than just scoring 11 goals a year for Stoke and West Ham. I mean, back in 2009, Chelsea were moving mad, trying and failing to buy Andrea Pirlo, yes, but also a 20-year-old Arnautovic. If this fella had his head screwed on, and instead of being distracted by Lamborghinis and supermodels, I mean, he could have moved to Stamford Bridge and squeezed himself into the team. I mean, the double act of Nicolas Anelka and Didier Drogba would soon be wrapped up in a box and sent to China anyway. So, a Chelsea strike partnership of both Arnautovic and Daniel Sturridge in the early 20s. Think of the movement, the link-up play, the skill. Oh, here I'm already drooling over my feet. The only reason this move did break down is because Arnautovic had actually fractured his foot that summer. But honestly, forget the fact that he just looked like Michael Cera of Superbad. If he'd had the right mentality, he could have been a Chelsea superstar. I'm not sitting here saying that Arnautovic is a useless footballer. I mean, this isn't Adrien Gallo. There is ability there, but it's just his attitude is all wrong. He is a 33-year-old brat. I mean, Jose Mourinho said that when Arnautovic was 18 years of age, he was sitting in Mourinho's office and telling him that he was better than every other striker on Inter Milan's books. Better than Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Adriano, Hernan Crespo, Julio Cruz, and Mario Balotelli. Oh, Marko, even as a teenage boy, he's still in the ego of Conor McGregor. Better than Zlatan, and yet he wound up spending 4 years at Stoke. But what do you expect? Look at his youth career. I mean, he had a new club practically every single season. Like a troublesome foster child who keeps being loaned out to different sets of parents because he keeps choosing to set fire to their curtains and murdering their family pets. This man has controversy stamped all over his face, and Erik ten Hag, right now, he's just signing what he knows. Well, I'm sorry, you have not worked with Arnautovic since 2009. I mean, sure, McLaren was his manager 13 years ago. This would be like Mourinho buying Mario Balotelli for Roma. I mean, 13 years is far too long to get back in touch. I mean, Steve McLaren once worked with Alexander Mitrovic too. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Man United raid Fulham with a £50 million bid on deadline day. After the Gallo, anything goes. Manchester United, did you not learn from Odeon? Stop buying footballers when they've already had their Chinese holiday. That transfer alone, the fact that they were willing to get on a plane to Asia and stay there, proves they don't have the hunger for the sport. It's why Chelsea's former wonderkid Oscar is now moving back to Brazil. I mean, a brilliant talent, yes, and everyone forgets, has scored in the World Cup semi-final. But I mean, offer him to Arsenal, and the likes of Mikel Arteta and Adu would probably react to this as if you're offering them the chance to clean their granny's bum in the bath. Arnautovic is still a good player. I mean, he scored 15 goals for Bologna last season, but again, his attitude is all wrong. Sure, take a punt on him if you're Fulham, Southampton, even Aston Villa. I mean, he would arguably be a perfect replacement for Richarlison at Everton. And again, that club have also been sniffing around him his entire career. So Arnautovic at Goodison Park, yeah, I mean, halfway through his medical, don't be surprised to just see him stick his feet up in Lampard's desk and proceed to yawn through his team talks whilst tucking it into a smelly egg sandwich. But still, if Frank can resist the urge to punch this arrogant meatball in the teeth, then he'd actually be a pretty brilliant £10 million Everton forward. But that's Everton. Manchester United is a big no-no. And Man United are also on the verge of signing Adrien Rabiot. I mean, what? Just what? Have this club learned nothing? This club have been accused of having a toxic changing room, and you respond to this by trying to sign football's answer to a sulk. And now Rabiot, adding insult to injury, another Manchester City cast-off. I mean, to be fair, it was in 2008 when he's just a shy little boy from France who'd probably yet to kiss a girl, was still reading X-Men comics, and was probably too nervous to ask Ben Mee for an autograph. But still, the fact that this man had even a blot of Manchester City DNA on him once, the fact that he used to wear their uniform, that's already an unhelpful stain. I mean, admit it, Man United. When you look at Jadon Sancho, it's better looking at your son, who is actually the product of your wife cheating on you with your dad. Sure, I mean, officially, you unconditionally love your son, but secretly, I mean, every time you look at him, it just feels like you're being punched by Peter Dinklage in the groin. Rabiot is another spoiled brat. I mean, just ask Thomas Tuchel about the amount of times he had to fine him at PSG for being late. Why do you think Chelsea are not touching him? I mean, his mother is his agent, and has been throughout his career. And apparently, she was cornering Laurent Blanc in a car park, and demanding to know why he dropped her son from the team. I mean, Christ above, seeing her in a darkened car park, I'd sooner run into Michael Myers. Poor old PSG. What with Rabiot and Mbappe? Oh, it sounds like Nasser El-Khelafi has just had disgruntled mums screaming in his office for a solid 10 years, and not even a free quiche in a box out of Mrs. Brown's Boys could placate them. I mean, remember that night in Paris where Man United pulled off that Champions League miracle comeback win under Oli? Yeah, Rabiot was then seen partying in a nightclub. This guy who refused to be named on standby for France in the 2018 World Cup. His entitled selfishness cost him a World Cup medal, and apparently he was caught fighting Paul Pogba on the plane after they lost at Euro 20. Is this really what you want? You ditch one entitled brat in Pogba, and you replace him with Rabiot? Do you really want his mother spending Christmas moaning to Sky Sports about how Den Haag is bullying her son? I mean, do you really want the headache of her probably slashing the tires of Donny van de Beek's car? I mean, Richard Arnold, you had angry Man United fans knocking on your door a few weeks ago. I mean, do you really want 40 phone calls from an angry mum? I mean, her official name might be Veronique, but let's be real, we know her spirit name is Karen. I'm sorry, but if someone tackles their son in training, oh, she'll probably storm out of the pitch and lead Bruno Fernandes into the car park by his ear. I mean, when Harry Maguire dares to play a straight pass to Adrien, security would have to stop her before she throws a purse at his head. I mean, Rabiot and Marko, honestly, is this a joke? Anyways, but what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of these signings? Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, as always. I'll talk to you in a while.